Welcome to Naveen TechHub.
Welcome to Naveen TechHub. Let's build a Jenkins pipeline from code commit to production.
Welcome back to Naveen TechHub. In this session, we are going to create a Jenkins pipeline step by step from scratch. But instead of simply memorizing Jenkinsfile syntax, we'll understand what happens internally at every stage. By the end, we'll connect GitHub, Maven, testing, Docker, Kubernetes, and a few enterprise-level practices into one complete CI/CD workflow. First, let's understand the problem Jenkins is solving. Imagine a developer manually building the application, running tests, creating a package, copying it to a server, and restarting the application every time code changes. This process is slow and error-prone. Jenkins automates that entire workflow. One Git push can start the build, run tests, package the application, and continue the deployment process consistently. A Jenkins pipeline is basically our CI/CD process represented as code. Instead of configuring every step manually inside the Jenkins UI, we place the pipeline instructions in a Jenkins file. That Jenkins file can live in the same Git repository as the source code, Docker file, and build configuration. This is important because our deployment logic is now version-controlled, reviewable, and recoverable. Before writing any pipeline, understand the Jenkins architecture. The controller is the brain. It manages configuration, credentials, triggers, and scheduling. But normally, we don't want the controller doing heavy compilation or testing. That work is assigned to Jenkins agents. Think of the controller as a manager assigning work, while the agents are the worker machines actually executing the jobs. For our example, we need Git and GitHub for source control, Jenkins as our automation server, Java and Maven for the sample application, Docker for containerization, and Kubernetes or Helm for deployment. In a real enterprise environment, the DevOps team normally prepares Jenkins agents with the appropriate tools instead of installing everything manually during every build. Now let's look at the repository structure. We have our application source code inside SRC, a pom.xml for Maven dependencies, a Docker file for container packaging, and most importantly, the Jenkins file. For this example, the Jenkins file is kept at the root of the repository, so Jenkins can easily locate the pipeline instructions. Next, let's create the Jenkins job itself. From the dashboard, select New Item, give the job a meaningful name, select Pipeline, and click OK. At this point, Jenkins has only created the job definition. It still needs to know where our pipeline instructions are coming from, either directly from the UI or, preferably, from our Git repository. Now we come to one of the most important slides. A declarative Jenkins file usually starts with the pipeline block. The agent tells Jenkins where the work should execute. Inside stages, we organize the major phases of the workflow. Each stage represents one logical activity, such as checkout, build, or test, and the steps section contains the actual commands Jenkins executes. When we specify agent any, Jenkins can choose any available agent to execute the pipeline. For learning in smaller environments, this is perfectly fine. In enterprise environments, however, we normally use labels. For example, if our build requires Java and Maven, we might select an agent labeled Linux-Maven. That ensures the job runs on a machine with the correct tools installed. Our first real stage is checkout. Remember, a Jenkins agent may begin with an empty workspace. Before Jenkins can compile anything, it needs the actual application code. So this stage pulls the source code from GitHub into the Jenkins workspace. In production projects, checkout SCM is commonly used because it automatically checks out the branch that triggered the pipeline. Once the code is available, Jenkins can build the application. Here, Maven runs mvn clean package. The clean part removes artifacts left from any previous build, and package compiles the application and creates the deployable jar file. This gives us a clean and reproducible build, rather than accidentally using stale files from an older execution. Next comes the test stage. This is one of our first quality gates. Jenkins runs the automated tests using Maven. If the command succeeds, Jenkins receives a successful exit code and continues to the next stage. If the tests fail, the pipeline stops. This is exactly what we want. We should never continue packaging or deploying code that has already failed validation. At this point, we already have a basic CI pipeline. Jenkins gets an agent, checks out the code, builds the application, and runs the tests. What previously required several manual commands is now described in a single Jenkins file. This is the foundation of pipeline as code. Now, let's connect the Jenkins job to the Jenkins file stored in Git. We choose pipeline script from SCM, select Git, provide the repository URL, and specify the Jenkins file path. This is better than pasting the pipeline directly into the Jenkins UI because our CI/CD logic remains in source control along with the application. Let's understand what physically happens when the pipeline starts. The job may first enter the queue while Jenkins waits for an available agent. Once an agent is allocated, Jenkins creates the workspace and begins running stages such as checkout, build, and test. One practical habit I strongly recommend is always checking the console output whenever something fails. Jenkins normally tells you exactly which command or stage caused the problem. Now we need automation. We don't want someone manually clicking build now after every Git push. One option is polling, where Jenkins repeatedly asks GitHub whether something changed, but that wastes resources. The better approach is a webhook. When a developer pushes code, GitHub immediately sends an HTTP request to Jenkins, and Jenkins starts the pipeline. That gives us event-driven CI. After the application is built and tested, we can containerize it. A jar file still depends on a Java runtime being available on the target server. A Docker image packages the application together with the required runtime environment. Jenkins builds that image, tags it, often using something unique like the Jenkins build number, and then pushes it to a container registry. Now our Docker image is ready, so the next stage is deployment. Jenkins can run commands such as kubectl apply or a Helm upgrade to deploy the application into Kubernetes. Kubernetes then handles running and scaling those containers. In many modern environments, Jenkins focuses heavily on CI, while tools such as Argo CD handle GitOps-based deployment. But understanding this Jenkins to Kubernetes flow is still essential. Security is critical in CI/CD. We should never hard-code Docker passwords, tokens, cloud credentials, or API keys inside Git or directly inside a Jenkins file. Jenkins provides a credential store. Using with credentials, Jenkins temporarily exposes the required username or password only while that step executes, and sensitive values are masked in the console logs. A production pipeline needs more than successful compilation and unit tests. This is where a tool such as SonarQube can add another quality gate. Jenkins can scan the code for bugs, vulnerabilities, coverage, and quality issues. If the quality gate passes, the pipeline moves forward. If it fails, Jenkins can stop the pipeline before the Docker image ever reaches production. Now let's connect everything. A developer pushes code to GitHub. A webhook triggers Jenkins. Jenkins allocates an agent, checks out the code, runs the Maven build and unit tests, sends the code through a quality gate, creates the Docker image, pushes it to a registry, such as Docker Hub or Nexus, and finally deploys through Kubernetes and Helm. This is the key takeaway. We have moved from manual builds to an automated, scalable, production-ready DevOps pipeline. Thanks for watching Naveen TechHub. If this helped you understand Jenkins pipelines conceptually, subscribe and continue with the next practical DevOps session.
And that's our Jenkins pipeline from GitHub to production. Thanks for watching Naveen TechHub. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one. Learn, build, and deploy.